don't ever want to hear the words male loneliness epidemic or men's mental health. Full stop, period.
Oh, well, isn't that nice?
I don't care. I don't care your reasoning. I don't give a shit.
Has anyone else noticed that there's a lot of individuals that say they don't care about, well, certain subjects, but then they go on to make entire videos about them saying how much they don't care?
Not a conversation. I'm telling you, I don't care, period.
Maybe this is one of those cases where they have to say it often enough just to convince themselves.
What about the suicide? What about, I don't want to hear it. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
You're mean for not caring. I get, maybe. Yeah. That, the fact that you think I'm mean has absolutely nothing to do with me. And it has absolutely nothing to do with the fact I don't give a shit.
I wonder, were they finally able to manage to convince themselves that they didn't care about that? Let alone anybody else. Because for someone who said they don't care that much, they certainly were fixated on a couple of subjects.
Why do these women think we are lonely? Also, the male loneliness epidemic study was about friendship, not about women or relationships. But women always find a way to make everything about them.
I hate when I see a man that's so fine and then I pass him and he doesn't say anything.
Why would he say anything? There has to be more to this.
Like when people say, oh, girls don't shoot their shot. Yes, they do. If I look at you like this, like say you walking this way and I'm walking like this, and if I look at you like this, that's me shooting my shot. Come say something.
That was it? That's how some women shoot their shot? Oh dear. Now maybe I'm a little bit too old-fashioned, or maybe just too practical. But I wonder if they have considered using the tried and true technique of using words to communicate, instead of expecting men to be mind readers. Might have a little more luck with that.
That looked like a stay away, you creep side eye. If I saw that, I'd think she's eyeing me as a possible threat, and I would steer clear, not wanting to risk anything.
At this point, if you're not paying my bills, I'm not even going on a date with you.
And why exactly are some women expecting husband-like behavior from guys they haven't even been on a date with yet?
I have very, very limited bandwidth mentally. If I have to think about like paying bills and rent, I just don't have the energy for a date.
When I hear statements like that, I often question that individual's ability to function as an adult.
And like if I've spent money on my rent, I don't want to leave my house. I'm gonna get my money's worth. If I'm gonna like de-stress and like get ready, get a mani-pedi, do my hair, do all of those things so I can go on a date with you, I can't do that and focus on things like finances. No. I'm very happy alone with my dog at home.
And after hearing that, I can only imagine the rather large amount of gentlemen that, if not more than pleased, may actually even be celebrating that there are in fact some women out there that are choosing to remain single.
Frisky in her 20s, delusional in her 30s, and forgotten in her 40s.
What if women just kindly talk to men and explain feminism to them, and maybe then they will start treating us as human beings?
Oh, I see the problem. That actually just might work, because having cool, calm, collected conversations usually is the best way to solve problems, but of course, that would just be too simple, wouldn't it?
That's not how it works. Stop making feminist content for men, because all it did is made them more resentful and angry.
Maybe, just maybe, it had more to do with the way that it was presented as opposed to the subject matter. Because believe it or not, most people, including men, are rather reasonable as long as they are approached in a reasonable manner.
What we should do instead is reach out to more women and educate more women that it's not worth to get married and to pop kids of these dusty men.
Dusty men, huh? Gee, I can't imagine why more men haven't warmed up to that message.
The only people who benefit from marriage and kids are male.
Oh, wait, is that why there's so many women out there looking for those provider men? Because they get nothing out of it?
On your energy, on your free labor, free sex, free everything from you in exchange for literally nothing, just fairy tale of love and whatever that they don't even understand. They don't know how to love.
And dialogues like this one are mainly the reason why a lot of guys tune out women when it comes to talking about feminism. Because if you can't have a conversation without putting the other person down, it only indicates you have nothing to contribute to that conversation.
She just took a long time getting to the same boring statement they always complain about. It's the same old, my money is mine, and his money is also mine. I never speak to third-wave feminists because it's impossible to.
This is why I think it's okay to generalize, man.
Oh, goody goody. I know I, for one, love hearing this type of logic.
You literally don't know. You do not know. And not you don't know who it is, it's you don't know who it could be.
All right then. So by that very same logic of a person never knows who it could be, it is perfectly acceptable to generalize any demographic of people up into and including women, because men never know which woman is going to verbally abuse them, physically assault them, use them for money, or accuse them falsely of any number of things, right?
I would rather hurt some little bitch's feelings because I don't like men than possibly be your next victim. And the gag of it all is, good men aren't offended by the shit that I say because they know I'm not talking about them.
Oh, that old shaming tactic. How cute. But frankly, I think that's just about played out, because most reasonable and logical individuals know that generalizing any group of people is the beginnings of not just bigotry, but also racism and sexism. And anyone who is trying to bully another person into agreeing with such a thought process is really the problem.
My favorite part is that she is wearing a shirt with 5 men on it.
The fact that men are pressed about women hating all men instead of taking accountability for the reasons why we're saying we hate all men is a perfect and prime example of why we hate all men.
All right, so I think we're perfectly aware at this point that some women are completely bigoted against all men. And apparently it's because they refuse to take accountability. But what exactly are all men supposed to take accountability for? I wonder if that's going to be mentioned.
What do you not get? We're literally telling you, hey, you men do X, Y, and Z and make women feel X, Y, and Z, and you're controlling and manipulating, and you have no consideration for women.
Let's be very clear here. Some men do those things, but not all men. Yet all men are being held accountable for the actions of some. Why?
Instead of addressing that, you guys are going to gaslight us and say, women are just like so hateful towards men nowadays. Like everyone just hates men.
That is not what gaslighting is. Those men are stating a fact. Gaslighting is using psychological manipulation in order to get someone to doubt their own perceptions of reality in order to gain control. But those men are correct. There are a lot of women out there that hate men for apparently no logical reason, because no demographic of people should take responsibility for the actions of some. And that is a hard reality that a lot of women don't want to accept.
She wants men to take accountability for things not all men have done. Why should I accept blame for something I didn't do and have never done? More importantly, why should we not hold women to the same standard?
It's wild to me that men think that we view them as our equal.
Who exactly is this we? And who would be so arrogant to speak for and on behalf of all women?
Or that we give a fuck about their opinion. Or that we even want to hear them fucking talk.
I mean, that sentiment could apply to a great many people.
Because no woman I know who has any shred of self-respect views a man as her equal.
It kind of makes a person question the types of women that some choose to associate with.
A woman gives no fucks about a man's opinion on her clothes, on her career choices, on her marriage choices, or whether or not she has children.
Well, in case this is new information, those individuals out there that are truly strong and independent-minded don't actually care what other people think at all, whether they be men or women.
The only women who give a fuck what a man has to say are the ones with no self-respect.
Really? Well, what I've noticed is when a person has to resort to shaming tactics in order to try to get their point across, they really don't have one.
Are you a woman? No. So your opinion on women's issues means fucking nothing to me.
The irony is these are some of the same women that will care about a man's opinion as long as it agrees with theirs.
And you can scream into the void as much as you want. I'm not going to listen to you because the entire premise of men's opinions is oppression. That's all they want, is to oppress women.
It's quite entertaining when someone tries to speak on what all men want, yet refuses to actually listen to anything that they have to say. Anyone notice the problem there?
She talks about gender equality, then she goes ahead to talk about how men aren't their equals. This hurts my head.
Okay, so since they're mainly the ones that perpetuate it, women don't get a say on what constitutes misandry or whether it actually exists or not.
Well said, Lady J.
Just want to make sure that I say exactly what I mean.
In my experience, it usually is best if a person does say exactly what they mean. No sense in mincing words. Let's hear it.
If you are too much of a little bitch to go to therapy and deal with your big feelings,
Well, they certainly didn't sugarcoat that one at all, now did they?
and you are out here willfully putting that burden onto women and get resentful when they don't deal with it, then good.
Oh dear. I wonder, did they keep that same level of sympathy for their fellow women who are also in some kind of mental health crises that for one reason or other can't or won't go to a therapist? I wonder if they'd call them the same disparaging names and insinuate that they're weak. Because women actually attempt that act more. But just a reminder, if women's self-unaliving statistics were as high as men's were, it would be plastered everywhere. But since it's men, it's okay to call them weak and make fun of them, right?
Septum theory proven again. It's always the women men don't want who say that kind of shit about men. Anyway, guys, you can now share your raw, unfiltered experiences about why you went MGTOW. Send them to our email. I'll read them out loud, exposing the reality and waking men up. I've pinned the email in the comments. That's all for today. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Also, click on the notification bell to know when I drop a new video. Bye.